another strong foe. Pilipinas kontra Thailand here for the final group match. And of course, it's going to be fireworks as expected. Grabe yung history nitong dalawang koponan. And it will be interesting to see how both Thailand and the Philippines approach this, considering that last time in Southeast Asian Games, Thailand panalo sa Pilipinas 3-0. Back in the AFC Asian Cup, the Philippines beat Thailand 1-0. How about now? Will things change? Things are still at stake here. Thailand not necessarily through to the knockout stages yet. And of course, the Philippines will try their best here just to secure the top spot to make sure going into the knockout stages, they face a more favorable opponent. And makita natin, the crowd starting to build up here at the Rizal Memorial Football Stadium. And of course, you can still come on over if you're around the area. At tingnan mo nga yan, the crowd starting to build up here. Traditionally slow build up dito sa Rizal Memorial and still a lot more space to be had. Ako po si Paul Del Rosario alongside Ryan Phoenix. Ryan, we talked about how the Philippines have already qualified for the knockout stages. Thailand still has something to fight for. But what can we expect for these two teams, especially with every condition that we have to think of?
Well, Thailand has had the better of the Philippines in the last few times we've met. They've won 4 out of the last 5 matches na kalaban natin sila. But you know what, Paolo? We're playing at home. We're doing very well. We're flying. We have momentum on our side. I think it's going to be a very interesting game tonight.
Now, we talked about yung conditions. Tignan natin dito yung updated pool standings natin. The Philippines, Thailand, and Australia, those are teams that have a chance to move on to the next round. Actually, Pilipinas is already through the next round. So the question is, will it be Thailand or Australia? Kung natalo ang Thailand dito by 1 goal, all Australia needs to do is score 2 to advance to the next round. And of course, that game happening alongside this one in particular. So a lot at stake for Thailand, and Australia will be cheering on the Philippines here as they hope to sneak in to the semi-finals. And it's going to be an interesting matchup here. We are awaiting the protocol here and hearing the national anthem dito sa Rizal Memorial Stadium. And Ryan, this whole occasion, a lot of people are now cheering on the Filipinas and discovering who they are and how proud should we be at the moment of yung performance nila, especially here on home soil.
Extremely proud. Alam mo, semi-finals appearance already assured for the Philippines. I think we want to finish these group stages on a high by getting the victory or at least getting a good result so that we can play the second place team in Group B.
It feels like every game there are more and more people coming into the grandstand, more and more people starting to make noise. Online, nakita nga natin that even other sports fans are starting to rally behind our Filipinas. Of course, hopefully we can hear and see more of them here at the venue as the tournament goes on, especially when podium finishes are at stake. At the moment here at Rizal Memorial, you can see the banners lined up. Sa side ng screen natin, nakita natin yung mga teams. And we are going to have a chance to hear the national anthems in just a few moments. Maraming salamat sa lahat na nanonood dito over on our live streams or over on One Sports Plus. And now let's enjoy the parade of the teams and watch out for our national anthems.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem of Thailand. And now, the national anthem of the Philippines.
Philippines versus Thailand coming right up in what has been a growing rivalry dito sa women's football. I don't know what to call this rivalry yet. Maybe some people might call it Tamarind Derby, but honestly, I don't know what to call it. Pero ito muna, yung starting lineup ng Thailand dito. Only one change from their last game, from their game rather, against Australia, which ended up in a 2-2 draw. So that just goes to show you, Ryan, how seriously they're taking this matchup.
They're saying that it's not the strongest Thai team. We beg to disagree. Of course, they're in it to win it. Of course, Thailand, of course, always a formidable opponent against any team.
At dito naman yung Pilipinas sporting their baby blue jerseys. I want one, Ryan. Pero tingnan muna natin to. We're going with the same defensive formation that we did in our very first game against Australia with Dom Randall playing on the left. And of course, isang malaking story din dito, Sarina Bolden, who has been on fire in terms of goal scoring, starting from the bench at the moment. If you look at the threats the Philippines have, who do you look at?
Well, Katrina Giu starting up front for the Philippines. Importante to note the midfield axis of Sara Egesvik and Jackie Savitsky, both in the starting 11 despite playing 45 minutes in the last match. That is a platform where I think the Filipinas will build on. And you have also Jessica Miklat as well in the midfield. That's a very solid and strong midfield, Paolo.
Of course, the history of Thailand and the Philippines as of late has been very colorful. No? Sa SEA Games is the most recent one. Thailand beating the Philippines 3-0. Of course, it was something that Coach Alan Stachit said that they were outclassed, they were outbeaten, and of course, they were beaten by a team that was more used to playing at a high level. Tayo hindi pa daw sanay. And of course, on the other end, sa AFC Asian Cup, which happened before the SEA Games, the Philippines shocking Thailand 1-0, courtesy of a goal from Chandler McDaniel na wala dito due to injury. Chandler McDaniel shot the ball from well outside the box, tapos na-spill ng keeper. So, in the last two meetings between Thailand and the Philippines, apart from that one moment wherein Chandler McDaniel, arguably may have gotten a bit lucky with her shot, they have yet to score from solid build-up play against Thailand, Ryan. When you consider that, is that something we have to watch out for?
Definitely. Alam mo, I'd just like to add to what you said, no? Nakakatuwa yung mga friends natin sa Facebook. And one of them caught my eye. Ang sabi nila, the first game na panalo natin sa Thailand was a new hope. And then, meron daw Empire Strikes Back, of course, Thailand beating us in the SEA Games. Can this be the return of the Jedi?
Alam mo, nakatakot ako, Rai, kasi there is a chance that, let's say, lumusot yung Thailand dito, then, of course, we go through. Baka may fourth chapter. That means we have another sequel. Is it going to be episode 1 or episode 7? Right, that's a very, very vague Star Wars reference. So let us focus on what we have here so far between the Philippines and Thailand. And then Olivia McDaniel on your screen. And it's always a statement para kay Coach Alan Stachit when you have Olivia McDaniel, arguably right now the first choice keeper. It's her position to lose. Starting here, of course, you want her to get a run of form, get warm, going ahead to the knockout stages.
Most definitely. And a note about Olivia McDaniel, you see how fit she is now. And sabi nga ni Alan Stachit, it's down to her work ethic and the way that she's been trying to get back her fitness.
And we're off here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. The Philippines playing from right to left of your screen. Thailand going the other way. Again, ang ating Pilipinas wearing their new powder blue kits. And itong Thailand wearing maroon as we are trying to figure out kung anong setup ng Pilipinas dito. Again, Sarina Bolden not in the team. So no clear striker, or at least based on what we've seen in the past lineups. It will be at the moment si Carly Freeles yung nasa taas as the tip of the spear, followed by Katrina Gilyu playing right offer on the right side. Sa likod naman, we have Randall and Long in the middle, Madarang sa kanan, at sa kaliwa, Dom Randall taking up the space that Sophia Harrison typically holds. At sa kabila naman, Ryan, we mentioned that this Thailand team probably, potentially, is not the strongest team that they have come out for recently, but a big chunk of this group have already played against the Philippines in the Southeast Asian Games.
That is correct, and Thailand is Thailand. They're the royalty in terms of Southeast Asian football, men's or women's. And of course, they finished runners-up in the SEA Games. Kamakailan lang, Vietnam taking the throne. And obviously, they want to make amends this time around.
And of course, Rai, Vietnam, you mentioned that Thailand are the royalty. Vietnam will be like, hey, we're on the other group and we can't wait to see you. So let's see what happens then. As when we look at this matchup for the Philippines, it's interesting to see how we attack. Because the typical wide players, again, Sophia Harrison on the left side, not there, and Katrina Gilyu playing centrally. Katrina Gilyu now on the attack, going on the left. Freeles is inside in the middle. And almost a miscue there para sa Thailand.
That is a well-timed run from Freeles, just missing the ball, and good cross from the left side by Katrina Gilyu. You're asking about the wing play. Katrina Gilyu providing that cross.
Well, interesting to note also, yung sa kanan natin in terms of yung midfield is si Ekishvik, who had played very well centrally before. What a throw inside, and a chance here again. The keeper needs to hold it. She punches it, but it doesn't go away. The unang corner ng Pilipinas very early on, 3rd minute of this matchup.
The secret weapon, maybe not so secret anymore. Eva Madarang with those long throw-ins.
Yung mga long throw-ins na yun, it's not just getting far. It's because it's low, it's quick, and it's an attacking throw. Right now, the crowd, simula lang, so sobrang hype para sa mga corner. And here we go. Ball in. Straight out.
Not the best of corners from the Philippines.
Si Ekishvik taking that. Itong si Shari Ekishvik taking on the corner kick taking duties since Tanay Anis not in the lineup here to start for Coach Anstacic. And now Thailand trying to play from behind. Nakita natin sa Southeast Asian Games, this is a team that's actually very talented in playing the early cross. That's actually how they scored a couple of times against the Philippines in that semifinals matchup in the Southeast Asian Games. So it's interesting to see how they're going to adapt to it, especially because the heart of that defense was Hailey Long and Dom Randall. So they want revenge, I'm sure.
But now the Filipinas have had more options to their central defensive pairing. Jessica Howard, of course, doing well in this tournament.
Trying to play it early there is Thailand. That is Kanyanat Chetat Butur. At yung mga goal ng Thailand against Australia, that game ended 2-2. A lot of it was taken from distance. In fact, both the goals happened. One was a chip against the keeper. The other one was a very long-range shot that found the corner of the net. Kaya makita natin yung Thailand not afraid to shoot from distance. So Olivia McDaniel needs to be on her toes. And needs to be ready to jump, to be completely frank.
Well, she has a week off since her last game, so Olivia McDaniel, I'm sure she's ready to go. One side note here, Paolo, the midfield, I think, is where the game might be won or lost. And our midfield, very, very solid. If you look at Coach Alan Stajic and the way he rotates the players, you see Sarah Egesvik now playing on the right wing. First of all, she was in the...
Magarang playing that high. looking for the early cross. Hinahanap si Gilyu, and Gilyu taken down, but no foul, says the referee. Sorry, Ryan, I've had to cut you off there. So you were mentioning the movement, or at least how wide our midfielders go. Pero again, here it is. It's going to be back and forth action between Thailand and the Philippines, as Dom Randall had to take control of that well, and she does. Sabisky has been a metronome para sa Pilipinas sa gitna, as Madaral, confidence of a flying wing back, able to control and just move it around. Carly Friles, offside, says the lineswoman.
You can see Thailand playing a very high line. And that is where probably Giu and Friles can exploit, because a high line means there's a lot of space behind the defenders.
Ekishvik playing it early, hinahanap si Carly Friles. Fortunately, Friles, the timing not there. Of course, Carly Friles has been part of the youth setup para sa Pilipinas in terms of the age groups for quite a while. So she knows what it takes to represent the country. She's captained the country in the youth levels. So hindi lang siya bago, she's been here and has gone through the ranks para sa Pilipinas. Hailey Long. Great composure there. Nahanap si Miklat. Miklat trying to look for Gilyu. Si Gilyu probably was one of the X factors missed by the Philippines against the Southeast Asian Games. Hindi siya naglaro. Si Katrina Gilyu. And of course, Serena Bolden, who's coming off the bench, was part of that lineup, but wasn't actually a starter sa Asian Cup, where we did beat them. So let's see how everything adapts. Sabisky not given any time, and Coward gives it straight back to Lydia McDaniel. Hindi Quesada trying to challenge. Ekishvik trying to find Sabisky. Take a look at how many Thai players are just shadowing Sabisky. As Coward sends that away, but just back to Pataranan. Ito ng Thailand, playing all the way back. Pilawan. Pagtong. Balik kay Pilawan. And here's a measure of control that the Philippines has not faced very often here in this tournament in particular, save for yung unang laro nila against Australia. And trying to find the run once again of Alpachai. And Alpachai trying to beat Randall, but Randall able to shield that away. But Ryan, it's to be completely fair to our opposition in the past few games. They are not at the level of a Thailand and Australia. Para sa Pilipinas, it's a reminder of what level they need to be at and what level they need to beat on a consistent basis. Great play again. Sa gitna, Miklat winning possession, beating one defender and trying to find Carly Friles, but the pass too wide left.
Exactly your point, Paulo. The Philippines now have to learn how to play against different opposition. You mentioned the likes of Singapore, Indonesia, and Malaysia. Not exactly the quality of Thailand and Australia. So now we've learned to beat the likes of Singapore. Now we have to learn how to beat the likes of Thailand and Australia.
Friles trying to find the run of Gilyu, not there again. Coward has some defending to do. And you have to watch out for the number 21, si Chetas Butur, who has been trying to playmake and set her teammates up, especially that number 6, si Somnuek, who was actually a substitute in the Southeast Asian Games last time around.
Talk about a tournament format, and you rightly mentioned kanina, Paulo. I think the Philippines has also been scouted by the opposition, and they have noticed the ball coming through number 4, na si Jackie Savitsky, being one of the keys to the game ng Pilipinas.
Of course, Jackie Savitsky has not played, rather did not get the chance to play Thailand in the past. Dati yung midfield natin, it also involved either Riley Bugay, Jessica Miklat, Chandler McDaniel. And apart from that, it's been a relatively familiar group dito para sa Thailand to face, apart from Egishvik and Savitsky.
As we get more depth, more players in the squad, we have more competition for places, which can only mean, well, for the country. One thing that I'd like to say also, sabi ni Coach Alan Stajic, this is just a journey among many tournaments to join before the World Cup. Kaya nakita natin yung mga formation ng mga players natin and the way they're positioned is also like testing ground where they are best at.
Well, nakita natin kanina yung Ultras Filipinas making noise, making everything more colorful here dito sa Rizal Memorial Stadium. And if I know correctly, and I think I do, that they are a very friendly bunch. Kung gusto nyo sumali sa kanila, go ahead and learn their songs and join in their choreography. Ay, mas masaya naman dito sa Rizal Memorial. And of course, they also actually go to other national team games. They've been to games for Gilas Filipinas, and interesting to see them more active in the national team setup as Thailand lose possession there.
And they've said, the Ultras Filipinas as well, that if you need tickets, just approach them and they'll gladly welcome you in the ranks to cheer on the Filipinas.
Thailand, again, taking control here. So, arguably, they've actually had a lot more control dito sa unang 12 minutes of the game in terms of moving the ball around. And it's really them who have been dictating, the Philippines trying to catch them on the break so far.
It's almost like a carbon copy of the game in the Asian Cup, where Thailand has had most of the possession. Tayo dumidepensa and trying to hit the counter-attack. But I think the main difference now is that we have the belief, we have the knowledge that we can beat them and play toe-to-toe with them.
Miklat. Now it's Quesada. Quesada trying to win that back. Still Thailand here, trying to find inroads down our right flank. Attacking Dom Randall. Good defending there by the Philippines again. Almost last ditch, and that will go out to a corner para sa Thailand.
Those quick runs by red shirts of Thailand causing some problems.
Aupatay. The cross too low and not beating the first defender, si Dom Randall. Chance here para sa Thailand. Somnuek with the delivery. They headed away. Egishvik giving chase. Pero napunta lang kay Rontong. Rontong. Milik sa center half ng Thailand. Great composed play there. Pramnak giving that all the way back to Saikun. There's a look there at the coach Okamoto para sa Thailand. He knows how to beat the Philippines, has beaten the Philippines already. Of course, has also absorbed the loss against them. Dom Randall trying to go to work again. Poor touch there, a dangerous moment para sa Pilipinas. Si Pramnak unable to have her timing right, and the ball just bounced off her left foot. And naman, early cross para sa Thailand, but it falls to Katrina Gillieu, Carly Friles rather. Friles trying to feed Egishvik, trying to look for Katrina Gillieu. The ball too high and cleared high as well. Dom Randall has some work to do defensively again. At alam mo, Ryan, it feels like Dom Randall has been targeted in almost all the attacks of Thailand so far.
Well, they know Dom Randall from the time in the SEA Games. She's the center back para sa Pilipinas. And seeing her on the left side of defense probably raised some concern.
Carly Friles playing a little 1-2 with Kinley Quesada, but the forward pushed all the way back to Dom Randall. Randall back to Olivia McDaniel. McDaniel, who is a great deliverer of the ball. Randall loses out, but it will be a handball, or rather a foul, as Dom Randall is not there. Pero itong si Dom Randall, again, has shown her utility, right, her versatility. She's played there against Australia, dito sa left flank. It's still not necessarily what we would say her most natural position.
But she has gamely persevered, especially in the recovery of Sophia Harrison. Of course, Sophia Harrison, the first choice left back for the Filipinas so far this year.
Madarang found Miklat. Had to get that pass right. Miklat, balik kay Madarang, or rather Coward. Libby McDaniel, Kaylee Long. Again, take a look at the high press of Thailand, really giving the Philippines something to think about. And look at how wide the Philippines is playing as well. As Dom Randall knocks that off the Thai player.
But one thing about the high press you're saying is that we have utmost confidence in the technical ability of our players.
Carly Friles trying to win that back. Pero nakuha ulit ng Thailand. Now shifting to the left side. Nervous no moments here for the Philippines because in terms of possession, in terms of control, the Philippines haven't really had that. All of their attacks so far, not even getting past the halfway point.
Very interesting sort of game, Paolo. It's not necessarily a must-win for both teams.
Well, neither team here having a shot to be registered here, pero it has been a very probing affair between the two. Parang nangangapa pa silang dalawa.
And if I may say so, it's also a chance for Alan Stajic to gauge his team with one eye in the semifinals. Of course, the Philippines already qualified to the knockout stages.
Pero alam mo, Ryan, apart from the team selection, siguro he's probably also probably is gonna say that he's only focused on this game and this game only, as Kenny Quesada could not hold on to the ball there. And now they go to the right once more. Again, having to work on Dom Randall. Dom Randall stands her ground.
And what I like about this crowd here,
Napaka-bias eh. Bias yung crowd talaga natin.
that's what you expect from the Philippine crowd cheering on the Philippines.
Kaya masarap yung home and away, or rather masarap na tayo yung host.
Come on down to Rizal Memorial if you have the chance. If not today, on Friday.
Siyempre may laro din tayo on Sunday. That'll be the last matchup. As Coward, her clearance doesn't get too far and almost a turnover in a dangerous place. Shavisky has some playmaking to do. Nancy Egesvik. Hinahanap yung takbo ni Carly Friles and that ball doesn't find her way. Kinli Quesada. Quesada knocked off possession by the captain. Itong si Panyosuk.
But one thing I will say, that sequence of events came about because of the calmness and the composure of Jackie Savitsky in the midfield, releasing the ball to Sarah Egesvik, which led to Quinley Quesada trying to drive her away. Napaka-importante talaga sa akin yung laro number 4.
Madarang, high throw-in. Trying to find Quesada. Shavisky trying to chase that one down.
Very important role this girl is playing, Jackie Savitsky, for the Philippines.
She's also been screening yung mga center backs natin, just sitting right on top of them position-wise, just to add more bodies sa central defense din natin. As Katrina Gilliu probing and looking for options. Nahanap si Quesada, but the connection not there.
Quick note on Jackie Savitsky. In the last game against Indonesia, in the first half, hindi tayo masyadong defensively solid. We were a bit discombobulated sa gitna ng midfield. But when she entered the game, she provided that stability. And of course, the rest is history with our victory 4-1 against Indonesia.
Thailand again using their center backs, not afraid to play it long. Again, it's not a team that would pass you to death. Itong Thailand, they are going to take risks. They are going to play through balls and long balls and even take shots from well beyond the box and even pressure Olivia McDonald, as we saw there. So this is a dangerous Thai team. You can't switch off no matter where it is. Where the ball is Apuchay really giving itong si Dom Randall a lot to handle.
And that's going to be a battle that masarap panoorin ngayong gabi.
Of course, si Dom Randall will love to rise to the challenge. Again, at least base sa nakita natin dito, 20 minutes into the game, they have identified that right-hand side as a place to attack from itong Thailand.
But so far, so good for our number 3, si Dom Randall. Has more than held her own.
Carly Friles giving chase, but they're cleared away. Pilawan just heaving that forward, trying to find the run of si Feng Ngam. Corner para sa Thai. And it'll be another corner for Thailand. Of course, itong si Somnoek has been a thorn in our side as Somnoek plays it high into the second post. Thailand get a header to it. Can he get the second header? And Olivia McDaniel might have some work to do here. And the ball bounces, it ping-pongs inside. But Kanya Nat unable to keep it down.
The ball could have gone anywhere in this corner by Thailand. Philippines unable to clear it convincingly. It's important, of course, for the Philippines to be defensively solid and not concede an early goal.
Olivia McDaniel playing it long again. Kindy Quesada trying to win back possession, but immediately Thailand is there. Savitsky, oh, what awareness there to get beyond that on-rushing forward. Pero Matarang, her pass off the mark, and a chance again for Thailand to create from the middle of the park. They have been arguably the better side from midfield. As great play there, trying to flick it on. Line connection, trying to look for the run of Pengnam. Olivia McDaniel sending it wide right. Hinahanap si Ekishvik. Pero nakuulit ng Thai. Thailand asking all the questions here. Somnuek. Again, playing it quick, playing it central. Coward with a challenge. Jessica Mikla trying to win back possession. Di niya makuha. Chance again from Thailand. Striking from distance para nandun si Hailey Long. Again, very physical itong Thailand. Now shifting it wide right again.
Well, certainly no love lost between these two teams. For Thailand, they might think of the Philippines as the challengers to their throne.
Again, sasabihin ng mga Vietnamese fans, wait, nandito rin kami. As Olivia McDaniel lines this up. Again, the Philippines not as fluid as we saw in the past few games, and understandably so. Again, this quality ng Thai team, it's really a step above the likes of Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore, with all due respect, as Dom Randall unable to find a teammate.
And the high press as well from the Thailand team, ensuring that the moment we have the ball, and nandun kagad sila in our face trying to win the ball back.
Remember, this Thailand team actually knows what it takes to make it to the FIFA Women's World Cup. They've played in it, and they want to stay in it. Early cross again, as that falls harmlessly to Olivia McDaniel. Kanina pa yan eh, that attack from that right side, trying to get that ball in. Savitsky, binigit kay Egishvik. Madarang trying to play it forward. Katrina Giliu trying to chase this one down. Can she reach it? She saves it. Two blue shirts in the box. And finally a corner para sa Pilipinas, their second one of the game.
Much better from the Philippines. You see the 1-2 passing on the right wing for the Philippines, leading to that corner.
Katrina Giliu, very quick, and that was a last-ditch tackle para sa Thailand.
You switching flanks from the left wing now to the right wing.
Sarah Ekishvik standing over this one. Hailey Long is someone to watch out for. You have Long, Quesada, Coward inside. The ball played high. The header won first by the thighs and cleared away. Pero bumalik kay Ekishvik, who's trying to send it in low, and another corner for the Philippines. Well, taking a look at the ball possession here, as we mentioned, Thailand with a lion's share, 58%, and only 42 para sa Pilipinas. But then, of course, you can have all the possession you want as long as we get all the goals. Yan yung hanap nila. Sarah Ekishvik standing over this one, and the referee making sure there's no extracurricular activities. Itong si Giliu standing near the keeper. Again, look at the defenders here to try and take advantage. Dom Randall, Hailey Long, Coward all looking for a chance. Also look at Kinli Quesada. Ball played high. Coward trying to get to it. Itong si Savitsky trying to still play it to a teammate. Quesada. Binalik kay Ekishvik. Ball still in a dangerous area, but finally cleared away by the thighs. Crowd starting to get into it, trying to urge the team on. Alam mo, it's been a tense moments here, Ryan, especially with the Philippines not firmly in control of this game. Still, they're going to try and take their chances. Long throw in again from the right side. Does not find the teammate. And Ekishvik trying to retain possession but played away long. And Coward has some defending to do. Unable to keep that in. It'll be a throw in deep within Philippine territory, Ryan.
Small pressure from the Philippines resulting in back-to-back corners. Have to have more of the same, Paolo. Philippines cannot continue to absorb that sort of pressure from the Thais.
Thailand now operating on the left flank, playing that high. Olivia McDaniel trying to get to this, and easy for her to collect. Now looking at her options. Again, yung strength ni Olivia McDaniel, not necessarily shot stopping, but ball distribution. Able to just heave it down the field. Big Bertha in her boot. Miklat. Nahanap si Katrina Giliu. Ekishvik trying to find Carly Friles on the other side. Carly Friles applying the pressure, but very confident play there coming from Sengkun. Miklat. Quesada. Hinahanap si Friles. Cleared away by Orafin.
That is better from the Philippines. You see the quick balls by Miklat, by Friles. That is important to unlock the defense ng Thailand, who may be a bit too high with that high pressure of theirs.
Tom Randa hinahanap si Friles, but Friles unable to control it. Kinli Quesada. What can the Philippines do here? Ekishvik couldn't direct it towards Katrina Giliu. Pero nahabol naman ni Giliu. Madarang saves it. Savitsky challenged. Playing a little 1-2 with Ekishvik. Haley Long. Philippines now with a better spell of possession. Haley Long challenged, and Haley Long, oh, she's not bothered. Coward playing it long in the hands of Friles. Friles trying to give it to Giliu. Giliu has it. Ball was a bit too high. Madarang. Philippines trying to be more incisive there. Thailand pressing very high. Really trying to force Haley Long, itong si Coward, into a mistake. But it results into a throw-in for Madarang. Is it patented? Is it one of the dangerous ones? Not that time.
What I'd like to see kanina, Paolo, was the way that the players slotted into place whenever they recovered the ball. It's like a training ground exercise na alam kung saan tatakbo ang bawat isa. And that's what I'd like to see.
Coward. Binigay kay Miklat, who finds Savitsky. Savitsky back to Miklat. Miklat weighing her options. Plays it short. Friles trying to free Ekishvik. Madarang is wide right. She has it. 3 blue shirts in the box. And it'll be a corner for the Philippines. Ekishvik is walking to take it.
Again, excellent work from Jessica Miklat at the midfield. Such technical ability as well. Philippines, of course, having so much midfield options now.
So the Philippines starting to pile up the corners. Again, look at that group of 3. Say Haley Long, Coward, and Quesada. Ball floated over to Haley Long. Coward with a chance straight at the keeper. Savitsky to control. Binalik kay Madarang. Madarang, pressure coming, plays it high, trying to send it back to attack mode once more. Pero ito naman ang Thai. They're looking to counter. Now they go wide right. Unable to find the target. But that's more like it, Ryan, para sa Pilipinas. They're finding their way through the corners. Ito makita natin. Tignan mo si Coward going to the second post. First, that tap by Long, and Coward straight at the keeper with her left.
Finally, the sequence of corners paying off para sa Pilipinas. Coward, that was the best chance of the game for the Philippines. Great save by the keeper and great shot, great effort from Coward.
Actually, arguably, the best chance in the entire game so far from either team. Ball to hands as the referee, Jackie Savitsky, holding off the pressure again. At nahanap si Carly Friles working down the left. But then, great defensive play there coming from Kanjanapon.
I must say, excellent work from our midfield. Miklat and Savitsky that time around, just shrugging off the very physical defense ng Thailand. And what a ball to Carly Friles as well.
Dom Randall will try to play it long, going into the Philippine box once more. Nahanap si Katrina Gilyu. Gilyu controls it. Close control here. She's very good at that, but could not find the teammate. Carly Friles trying to pressure. Mikla trying to win it back. Pero ito na naman ang Thailand. The Philippines have to reset. Now playing from the back once more. The Philippines not bothered. They're not going to pressure too high. They're going to wait for them to cross the halfway point to apply more and more pressure.
That's a good sequence of play for the Philippines.
Pilawan. Binigay sa kaliwa. Trying to weigh their options here. Typically, they've played left and then shifted right. And Janapon. Now moving to the right as we mentioned, and as the forward ball is played, it goes straight to Olivia McDaniel. McDaniel. Di mahanap si Ekishvik. Hailey Long has some defending to do. Has been assured in possession. Ito naman si Coward, the same as well. Si Coach Alan Stadges has empowered yung mga center backs natin to actually hold on to the ball and be comfortable playing with it. As you can see there, Savitsky leaves it to Kinley Quesada. Quesada, binigay kay Dom Randall. Dom Randall has to get to it first. Magiging throw para sa Pilipinas.
That is the show of confidence from our players, playing the ball out from the back. No sense of panic really, no sense of hooving it up forward.
Carly Friles trying to win back possession there. Ekishvik tried to be clever. Pilawan. Shifting it to the left is almost just playing with each other. Si Pilawan and Somnuek. And Janapon. Ngayon yun, binalik. Pilawan. Driving forward. With many respects, actually, the two center-back pairings, ito sa Pilipinas at sa Thailand, they play relatively the same. Not afraid to hold on to the ball, move it back and forth, and really dictate the tempo. And then a point of attack for both these groups. Pilawan trying to find the wide wing back. Playing it across. Dom Randall has some defending to do, and Olivia McDaniel will see that across the line. So it'll be another corner para sa Thailand. Again, hinahanap yan si Pataranan Apuchay. And si Somnuek. As you saw on your screen, trying to deliver it. Orapin Wangoen rather, standing over this one. She signals, looking for a teammate, trying to score first, and the defense stands firm. Right place, right time para kay Kinley Quesada. Able to send that away.
In a game of very fine margins, that was a great block from the Philippines.
So si Kinley Quesada just doing her job. And if you're, well, based on what you've seen so far, The question is, which team can take the better corner first? Because that's where majority of the attacking play has happened from the corner kicks. As Kindy Quesada throws her body at that one.
And for the fans of the Philippines, alam mo, nasanay tayo in the last 3 games. We have scored a lot of goals. But I've told a lot of fans and friends as well that this is going to be a very different game because Thailand are more than a match for us. And so far, 35 minutes into the game, the scoreline is 0-0. The game is very tight. It's anybody's game.
Cleared away by the Philippines, but no one in particular. Nakuha ulit ng Thailand dito. That is Chachawan, rather. Dom Randall being hunted down, dispossessed. Haley Long, Coward rather, with the late tackle, and that will be a yellow card. We talked about how Pataranan Apochay has been trying to torment Dom Randall, and in that moment, she got the better of her.
And it was up to Coward now to cover. Otherwise, she would have been through on goal. She's taken one for the team, Jessica Coward.
And that late challenge there means it'll be a free kick in a dangerous position para sa Thailand. Apochay. Wala siya sa starting lineup na sa SEA Games for Thailand. But that doesn't mean that she doesn't deserve her place. Let's go, Alan Stacic on your screen alongside Okamoto. We'll have a lot to think about here with the run of play so far. So possession-wise, itong Thailand have been doing a better job, but the Philippines have had the only real shot on goal that required a save from the keeper. Of course, we could have said the other way around as well. Had Kindy Quesada not been at the right place at the right time. Right now, 2 Thai players standing over this one. There's Panyusuk, the captain, on the left, and number 11 is Rodtong. Rodtong will take straight at the wall, hitting Gilyu, and she clears it.
Player down for the Philippines.
And our girls don't go down easily, so tignan natin kung ano nangyari dito. As Eva Madarang is doubled up in pain here, holding on to her side, holding on to her ribs. At di ata makahinga. So let's see what happens here. Of course, if you're going to look at Eva Madarang, automatically you're going to look at someone like Malea Cesar to be able to work with her, if ever.
Quick note on Dom Randall and her being at the left back position against maybe smaller teams, maybe not teams that are not so good. She can get away with it. Yung kanyang pagiging right-footed on the left back position.
As we take a look at this and try to see what happened here exactly. So the ball hit her side, so nawalan ng hangin itong si Eva Madarang. Parang boxing lang yun eh. Kung natamaan ka ng isang liver shot, you will fall. And that looks like what happened to Eva Madarang.
Hope she can catch her breath. But to continue the point, against strong teams, yun na magiging issue sometimes ng Filipinas. You have to be better at that left side position because you can have no weaknesses there. And the moment the opposition finds a weakness, talagang doon ka talaga pupuntahan, as we see in this Thailand team who was targeting the left side of the Philippines.
Eva Madarang still out walking back to the bench. Of course, just trying to recover here. She has an ice pack along her side. So the Philippines will play this back to Thailand. Thailand electing to play from the back. And here we go, as Eva Madarang comes back to the field as well, returning to a normal setting, as there's a quick change here by Coach Alan Stacic, or it just could be because Eva Madarang has just returned to the field that nasa kaliwa na si Eva. Savitsky finding Ekishvik. Carly Friles running in front, trying to play off the shoulder of the last defender, loses out there. Great defending by Pilawan, but holds back Friles, and that will be a free kick for the Philippines in a dangerous area.
That has been the go-to play by the Filipinas so far. Nakuha ng midfield ng bola, pasa sa wingback, who then releases an rushing forward, whether Friles or Giu.
So tumaas ang yung mga center back natin as you look at Quesada alongside Cowart and Haley Long. So there is a very offensive-minded set piece here para sa Pilipinas. And that is cleared away by the keeper. Straight back to Miklat. And Madarang will control this one. Almost just 5 minutes left here as Olivia McDaniel will send this back into attacking area. And a chance there, but it's keeper to keeper. Makakuha yan ni Shotmani. Itong Mongpol.
Well, Paolo, 40 minutes has flown by. At even if the scoreline suggests otherwise, napakaraming aksyon na nakita natin in the first half.
And I'm sure for all of our Philippine fans, nervyos sila eh. Kasi ako rin nervyos dito eh. Just watching the pressure being applied by Thailand.
And again, if you've seen the last 3 matches natin, we can't always have it our way.
And a chance here along the left side. Olivia McDaniel there to collect though. So there's a change I mentioned, Ryan. Si Eva Madarang has now shifted to the left side and si Dom Randall has now moved to the right. Interesting to see because in terms of delivery, see Madarang is not as effective on the left in terms of giving those crosses in. And same with Dom Randall.
But the thought process now for Alan Stajic would be Dom Randall is predominantly right-footed player, and she has probably been found out by number 27 ng Thailand. So time to sit around and give number 27 a different look, a different defense to unlock.
Of course, let's see how Thailand adapt as well. Now that change happened habang na-injure si Madarang actually. So Madarang playing on the left, Dom Randall now on the right. So napaka-tactical ng laban natin dito. It's a chess match between the two. So the Philippines now reacting to the lineup of Thailand. Will Thailand change and how will we react going to the halftime break? We're nearing that now. As it has been a cagey match so far. Neither team really threatening from open play. Most of the chances coming from corner kicks as Dom Randall is able to deliver it forward, trying to look for Carly Friles. Sabi ko kanina, not much from open play. Does that change here? Friles! Alam mo, hindi ka mananalo ng loto kung hindi ka bumili ng ticket. And Carly Friles definitely bought a ticket there. At malay mo, mananalo siya ng mega loto. Pero this time, gotta buy a new one.
But that was an excellent shot from Friles, catching the keeper by surprise. I think the keeper expected Friles to deliver or at least to delay the delivery.
Pati tayo nagulat eh. As Carly Friles, boy, what a great example she is of developing youth. As there's a Thai player right now being checked on what looks like a head injury, or at least, or rather, parang contact yata yung pinalitan eh. Si Pom Somnuek. Again, not quite sure what happened there, but the referee said, "Uy, bumalik ka dito." So here we go. A chance again. Another corner to someone on the other side. The first time the Philippines is taking a corner from this area. Good look for Haley Long, but off target. Friles again. At this one corner para sa Pilipinas. Can they break through at the end of the first half? Just a minute left before added time.
Good delivery from Egesvik. And how many times have we seen Haley Long bury that header from a corner kick?
Ekisvik. Mudas kabila. At iba yung setup ng Pilipinas dito compared to the other side. When taking it from the left side, majority of the Filipinas are near the goal line. Pero dito, you have 3 near the penalty spot. Si Cowart, Long, and Quesada. They are the targets. Ekisvik to deliver. Near the keeper. A chance here. Freeless. Unable to sort her feet out, and Thailand going on the counter, at least trying to. Tavisky holds on to possession. Madarang. Nahanap si Freeless. Now trying to go on the left side again, and Madarang clears that away.
What a sequence of play for the Philippines. Almost giving up a fast break goal para sa Thailand. But before that, chance from the corner.
Played near the keeper this time. Missed the punch completely. At itong si Kinley Quesada just tried to throw a head at it, and Charlie Freeless just mistiming that opportunity as a Thai player has gone down and needs to be checked.
And lost in that replay was Savitsky once again holding off the Thai player who was really almost through on goal were not for the composure of the Philippines number 4. Suddenly this game coming to life just as we are winding down the first half.
Okay, sasabihin ko sana coming to life pero pabreak na tayo. So right now at the moment, Thailand just sorting out all their aches and pains as we have just a few minutes left here. And of course, we still have a player down para sa Pilipinas. It looks like Jessica Miklat. I believe it might have been Miklat who threw herself at the ball and not Kinley Quesada, as I mentioned a while ago.
I think that's Jessica Cowart.
Cowart, rather. Yeah, so right now, short one defender itong Pilipinas. Dom Randall shifting back to the centrally for the meantime, as Hailey Long has some work to do here. Again, this Thai team not afraid to take their shots from, well, outside the box, but that'll be a goal kick. Sabi nila may deflection daw. Talk about Thailand as for the corner instead, as Cowart coming back in. And it's back to the full 11 para sa Pilipinas. Not long now before the halftime break. And the Philippines trying to see if they can have one more roll of the die before the whistle. Not there. And the Philippines and Thailand go into the break in a scoreless draw, but not without trying. Both teams have had their opportunities, have their chances. Carly Freeless in particular has had a lot of bites at the apple, but have missed so far. And for Thailand, on the other hand, few opportunities from a couple of set pieces, one from a free kick, and a good opportunity from another corner that was cleared away by Kinley Quesada. Scoreless at the half, but you can expect fireworks come the second. We're going to have highlights during the halftime break, so make sure you don't switch this off. We'll be right back. Pilipinas trying to break through. They had a lot of good chances at the end of the first half. And we're going to see some of the highlights here. Has been physical, it has been cagey. It's what we expected between the two. Itong Thailand team has been doing a lot better in possession, Ryan. But the Philippines have been trying to take their chances off set pieces and off the break. But I think it's almost like a mirror image. Parang yung Spider-Man meme, the two of them pointing at each other in the way that they've been playing here so far.
A very eventful first half for both these teams. The scoreline suggests otherwise, but may mga tsansa ang bawat koponan, and most of the chances coming off of corners, and that one was a shot from Jessica Coward. Could have been 1-0, but the keeper of Thailand was up to the task.
At syempre, dito naman, ito makikita natin yung mga chances ng Thailand. That time, a block from Kinley Quesada preserves our goals. Preserves our clean sheet so far. And of course, striking from distance, we mentioned it a while ago that this is going to be a Thai team that will not be afraid to strike from distance. Coward there with a duty foul after getting the better of Randall. At nagiging tactical nga to eh. We saw the shift of the fullbacks para sa Pilipinas midway through as we take a look at Carly Freeles taking her attempt there. And Freeles has been the most dangerous player for the Philippines in terms of at least attacking and taking chances here, Ryan.
And she has that shot at the end that she mishit. Could have been another shot on goal para sa Pilipinas. We're gonna see that one here, which almost led to a Thailand breakaway. A lot of action, no goals, but I think we'll see even more action in the second half.
And of course, here's the halftime stats. Di po yan full-time, halftime stats po yan. The Philippines and Thailand have been relatively close when it comes to the numbers. But when it comes to possession, Thailand have been more dominant. And when you see the numbers here that we have, 53% actually for Thailand, not by much. Pero shots on target for the Philippines, a lot more, but only a couple real dangerous ones here.
More corners for the Philippines, 6 corners compared to 3. And I hope that the Philippines can capitalize on those corner pieces, set pieces in the second half, so that we can get this victory and continue the momentum of winning every game in the tournament.
Ano mo, Thailand are saying the same thing. As I mentioned, parang mirror image lang to eh. The two Spider-Man memes. So far, they've been playing alike. They've been attacking alike. The question is, who can have that moment of brilliance that will be different? And what changes can the coaches from both teams make to get the advantage? The answers to that when we return. Don't go away. This is the AFF Women's Championship 2022. Welcome back, Philippines. This is the AFF Women's Championship 2022. Thailand at ang inyong Pilipinas tied up at 0-0 at the halftime break. No substitutes so far between these two sides. Well, we know that itong si Coach Alan Stadcic in the past, history has shown us that he is open to changing the lineup if he wants to immediately. Nakita natin in the last game against Indonesia. But at the moment here, just tweaks against a Thailand team that have been playing very well and have been trying to take the match here to the Philippines as well. Now, it's interesting to note here, right, just to start out, the fullback situation, they have now switched back to normal. Itong si Randall and si Madarang, who switched earlier on in the latter parts of the first half.
Well, I think Coach Alan Stadcic persisting with Dom Randall at left back. He has been full of praise for Dom Randall, saying that alam mo si Randall hindi naman siya naturally left-footed, has not played left back before this tournament, but has gamely decided and played there para sa koponan because nga si Sophia Harrison, the first choice.
Katrina Giliu trying to get on the end of that. It will be a throw-in para sa Pilipinas.
Sophia Harrison, of course, the first choice, is currently recovering from an injury.
Eva Madarang. Sabi natin, yung mga throw-in niya parang corner kick. That's what makes it so special. Madarang, oh, the heave inside. But headed away by Thailand. That's Sabisky, whistle for the foul. So yung mga throw-in ni Madarang, what makes it special, it's not just you can throw it far, but as you can throw it far with pace. It's flat, relatively flat in terms of a throw-in. So it's so hard to handle if you're a defender.
Another weapon para sa Pilipinas.
Tom Randall, good header away. Again, as a natural center back, you expect her to deal very well with yung mga aerial battles. As that will go the Filipinas way.
Probably one thing about Dom Randall is that when you throw long balls at her, kaya-kaya niyang i-resolve yun. But when it's the ball on the ground with pace and space behind you, doon siguro siya magkakaroon ng konting problema as we saw in the first half. So it's also a awareness thing for the Philippines. You have to be aware of that weak spot.
Olivia McDaniel has some work to do here. She's very good on her feet. And, you know, if you're a goalkeeper, hindi lang pwede okay yung handling mo eh. You have to have great footwork as well. Ekishvik trying to find the two runners in front. Carly Friles, she gets on the end of this. Can she find Katrina Giliu or Madarang behind her? Friles tries to go at it by herself. Binigay kay Madarang. Madarang hounded by a defender. And that's good defending there coming from the number 6. Itong si Somnuek.
But what I liked about that sequence of play was the way the Philippines moved the ball out from the back. And Egesvik with a good pass as well to release Carly Friles. Padarang there, unlucky. And was unable to deliver across. But the sequence of play leading up to that point was really pleasing. And I'm sure Coach Alan Stadcic would have loved to see that again.
Thailand trying to control again from the back, not afraid to just attract some pressure as we're seeing right now. The Philippines actually pressing just a little bit higher than they did in the first half, but then nothing too intense. As there they are again, trying to get the better of Dom Randall on the right side. High ball in. Coward has to deal with it, but then that is off target anyway. Rather, it was in between Coward and Madarang, and Olivia McDaniel happy that that did not fall all the way through. Did not have a great look at it. Itong si Kayana.
That was a clean and header from Thailand, but that's a warning sign. And sabi nga ni Olivia McDaniel to her center backs, please take care of that next time around.
Si Pataranan Apuchay getting free there, just now playing a bit on the outside of Dom Randall.
So you see the way the Philippines now try to attack Thailand. Quick balls from the back, trying to catch Thailand unawares.
Carly Friles trying to knock that pass to Gilyu. Ekishvik trying to pressure as well. More pressure here comes from the Philippines. They smell blood, talking about the three Filipinas. Friles playing it low inside and cleared the way for a corner.
Extremely well done by Carly Friles, not giving up on that play, pressuring the Thai players until she gets the ball back.
Carly Friles, that was a low delivery, trying to find the run of, I believe that was Kinli Quesada. Ekishvik standing over this. Miklat is the short option. Again, the three in the middle are going to be the target. That's Cowart, Long, and Quesada. Dom Randall taking a bit closer, taking the first post at itong si Katrina Gilyu standing basically on the goal line. That's going to be trouble for the keeper. Ekishvik played at the first post, and that will be a goal kick, according to the lineswoman. And there's a disagreement between the referee and the lineswoman. So tama yung referee, says, and they're gonna play it quickly. Pero sabi ng referee, wait lang, boss muna.
Parang napanood ko rin, a corner taken quickly.
Well, wala din sa linya eh.
But I mean, it's good to see from the Filipinas players trying to take advantage of the confusion.
So ito si Okamoto, obviously complaining kasi sabi nga ng lineswoman, it is supposed to be a goal kick. But the referee disagreeing, having a better view. Ekishvik, another delivery. That one towards the middle. A Filipina gets ahead to it. Cowart couldn't turn. Olivia McDaniel chasing this down. Don't be surprised if she will heave that forward quickly, but instead she gives it to Madarang. Madarang, pressure coming. Safety first, just put it out. But the pressure is there, and we mentioned how this group, this Thai team, not afraid to put bodies on the last woman of the Philippines.
In a game of very fine margins, that was a very brave play from Olivia McDaniel and from Eva Madarang.
Of course, can't afford to be shaky at that moment. If you're not sure, play it out. That's a cardinal rule for defenders. Ekishvik.
Well, it's been a very tight game, Paolo. And somehow, somewhere, I think whoever can convert their chances, set pieces, or free kicks will take the full 3 points today.
We mentioned a while ago, in terms of the build-up to this matchup, itong Philippines has yet to score against this Thai team in the past 2 games of really solid build-up. Again, the only goal that they scored against them was a long-range shot coming from Chandler McDaniel back in the AFC Asian Cup. And the way that we scored that is that the keeper let go of the ball. She spilled it past the net, past the line. So can we build up towards a goal as Katrina Gilyu trying to do just that?
Was she trying to shoot? Seems like it was a very strong shot from Gilyu.
Gilyu, that was, I'm sure, was a strong cross that was probably too high for a Kinli Quesada to get to. They go all the way back now to Chotmani.
But again, very persistent from the forwards, Friles and Gilyu. Just persisting and trying to find ways to score.
Thailand finding inroads down the left flank this time. Cross by the byline. And dealt easily there by Cowart.
That is one thing that the Philippines have to be very wary of. Habang umaatake tayo, ay nagkakaroon ng espasyo sa likod ng forwards na Thailand.
Panyusuk. Thailand shifting the ball wide right now. Again, that is their favorite place to attack so far. But that time, itong si Pataranan unable to control. As there is a Thai contingent here. And, you know, credit to yung mga Thai fans because they are some of the most boisterous fans in the Southeast Asian region. Lagi may sumusuporta and If you're in bigger competitions, palaging may drum line sila eh. In whatever sport. Hindi ko alam kung meron lang sa ping pong. McDaniel shifting that to Cowart. Cowart, the pressure is there, so McDaniel has to do very well there to stay composed.
Again, a very high line from Thailand.
Savitsky, just
that
shimmies
is-
past one defender again, one midfielder. But then the pass, unable to find its mark as Kinley Quesada trying to pressure now.
As a mark of a confident and composed player, si Jackie Savitsky just totally unfazed by the pressure on her.
So na naman ang Thailand. Pilawan. They elect to go to the middle. Ponyasuk. Playing it long now. Pero nandun si Miklat. Ponyasuk. Wide left to Rotong. Eva Madarang has some defending to do. Trying to be clever there, but Egishvik smart to it and clears out for safety. Kanina, parang si Randall lang yung naatake eh. It feels like their coach, Okamoto, has said that, hey, you can go on the other side as well. Playing that very high and to no one in particular. Goal kick para sa Pilipinas.
Well, the Philippines have defended very well. Yung atake ng Thailand, of course, they're trying to probe on the left side of the field now. But again, the Philippines are holding their own.
Again, very tense affair here. Don't blink. Because this feels like a game that could be decided in a moment. McDaniel. Couldn't find the Filipina midfielder. Ganun naman ang Thailand. Trying to go centrally this time. Dom Randall has some defending to do. Knocking that off. Pataranan Apuchay.
And if you see how the Philippines is set up, napaka-narrow ng ating midfielders. Egesvik, the right wing, Quesada on the left. But when we are having possession, you can see them cutting inside. It is actually up to Madarang and Randall on the left wing to provide that width. Of course, you don't want to lose control of that midfield. That's why they are playing very close to each other, ang Pilipinas.
Savitsky, binigay kay Dom Randall sa kaliwa. Dom Randall trying to look for the run of Carly Freeles, but good defending there coming from the number 15. Itong si Orapin Wangyon. Better play para sa Thailand, attacking through the center. But good defending from Eva Madarang to pat that away at a crucial moment. Savitsky, nahanap si Carly Freeles. Katrina Giliu on the run. Giliu, she gets it, but it's too wide left. She now has to play the role provider and could not provide to Carly Freeles.
Freeles was waiting for the return ball.
This Thai team so disciplined defensively that the through balls that have been going for the Philippines throughout the last 3 games have been found out here.
And as the fans are also finding out, ibang level itong kalaban natin ng Thailand. Baka nasanay na tayo that we can score almost at will against Indonesia, against Malaysia, against Singapore.
Well,
Thailand is another planet altogether.
Sasabihin ko sana para sa mga hardcore football fans dito sa Pilipinas, we know that this is a type of competition, this is a type of contest that Thailand would offer. Great dispossession there. Savitsky, right place, right time. Carly Freeles on the run. Ito naman si Egishvik. Egishvik has Katrina Giliu on the left side. Great defending again from Thailand.
Good idea from number 25, Nishar Egesvik. Stationed in the right wing today.
Si Panyosuk doing a good job there stopping Egishvik. Madarang trying to find Katrina Giliu. And that'll be a corner para sa Pilipinas off the miscued clearance. And looking at who's warming up here for the Philippines is off your screen right now. That is Malaya Cesar. So that is a fullback at least warming up. So either Randall or Madarang might see their night end early just based on who's warming up. Pero back to normal action. Egishvik standing over this one. Coward, long, Quesada in the middle, Dom Randall at the first post, Gilyu at the goal line. Here we go again, punched away by the keeper. Friles tried to line that up, and that is a foul, and that could be a card for Carly Friles. Missed the ball completely and got the woman instead. And that is a yellow card.
Second yellow card in the game para sa Pilipinas. I would like to see that again on the replay.
Well, let's see whether or not we can get that as we have it here. So ito na. The bounce, Carly Friles trying to get to it, and there it is. So just getting the shin completely of Kanjanapon Sangkun.
I'm not too sure if when the attacking player has the right to shoot versus the defender having to have to defend.
Siyempre, kung attacking player ka, sasabihin mo, I was going for the ball. And it's a game of chicken at the end. So interesting because there are two defenders coming for the Philippines, and that is a foul easy to call for the Philippines. So I believe that maybe Jessica Miklat.
It's a hard fall for her.
So Sophia Harris and Malaya Cesar, two wingbacks, two fullbacks, as we have confirmation there's a yellow card for Carly Friles, waiting to be subbed on. As that is a completely different look for the Philippines, at least from the wingback possession. Savitsky, great control. How composed was that? And what a through ball here for Katrina Gilyu. Gilyu bearing down on goal. Tries to play Friles, but still Egeshvik straight on goal.
Another good sequence of play from the Philippines. Egeshvik releasing Gilyu on the right side. Unlucky to have her shot saved.
Itong si Egeshvik. Here's first the run from Katrina Gilyu. As Gilyu trying to find Carly Friles on the other side. The low cross dealt well with, but then the trailer, itong si Egeshvik lined that up. First time, the power was there, but it was too true. Remember when you hit something too good, it just goes straight? That's exactly what happened.
And straight at the arms of the keeper. And I think Coach Alan Stajic will have a good problem in his hands. He has to choose two central midfielders among three excellent players, Egeshvik, Savitsky, and Miklat.
Now don't forget, Riley Bugay and Chandler McDaniel wants to become healthy. What a ball here, trying to find Egeshvik. Egeshvik, two to aim for in the middle. Trying to find the trailing Quesada. Quesada unable to get to it first. And you know, without the size up front, you understand why Egeshvik will try and go look for a low cross instead. Now it's Thailand's turn, but Olivia McDaniel collects.
Well, the pace of this game has certainly picked up. Action from end to end.
So after the chess moves that we saw in the first half, wherein they tried to shift things around from the fullback areas, with Randall and Madarang just changing positions, we're going to see the substitutions come around. Again, focusing on those areas. As Madarang wins that there. Egeshvik trying to play through to Carly Friles. Pero pati si Friles na fake out dun eh. As the number 4, itong si Palawan, unable to control that.
Almost a costly error for Thailand.
There's a foul count there, and also 2 yellow cards for the Philippines so far.
Have to say, action has been going non-stop. Yung dalawang subs natin, waiting to come on, has waited for quite a few minutes there.
So what's going to happen is that Dom Randall is going to shift into the middle, and Coward is going to check out. So Harrison will go to the left, and Malaya Cesar will go on the right for Madarang. But that will not happen yet, but that is what is set up. Or will things change again? Because we are seeing more movement on the bench. Back to normal action. Madarang. The throw in a bit short there, uncharacteristically short, as Dom Randall will let that run out. So a couple of changes here. Make that 3 changes. First, you have Eva Madarang coming out. On the right, Malaya Cesar, 18 years young, representing the Philippines there, offers a completely different type of defender. Then you have Coward coming out. Harrison will come in. And you can expect Dom Randall to shift to the center to partner Haley Long, which is an age-old partnership. And take a look at this. Egisvik, who's played so many good through balls so far, being subbed out for Anika Castañeda. Castañeda, of course, one of the homegrown talents here that is a crowd favorite every time she comes in.
The first two subs, of course, you almost could see it happening. Cesar and Harrison just providing the defensive cover that we probably should need right now in the closing stages of this game. Egisvik, I was about to say, nakita mo medyo napapagod na rin siya, no? Because she's also played a lot of minutes so far in this tournament. She's had to come off the bench in the last match in the second half to will the Philippines to victory. And I think Anika Castañeda will provide some fresh legs in that right side.
Of course, right now, everything is as we expected. Itong si Dom Randall has now partnered Haley Long in the middle. That has been a partnership that has really given us a lot of good results, at least in the center of the park. And then on the left-hand side, Harrison will provide more attacking options there. And she's more used to playing that side than Dom Randall. And just crowded out in the middle there. Haley Long having to make a decision. Hinahanap si Katrina Giliu but couldn't find her. Or rather, that was Carly Friles. Ito naman ng Thailand, trying to go central as well. Play on, says the referee. And for those wondering, no, you cannot be given a foul for that one, as Kinley Quesada just has to shake that off. Dom Randall using her body, just trying to hold up possession there. Now on the attack on the right side again, across to deal with Malaya Cesar with the first action of the game, as Mikla trying to play that through. Pero nakuulit ng Thailand. And they are going to play that out because there is another Thai player here that requires some medical attention.
Well, our back four now of Cesar, Long, Randall, and Harrison is our Asian Cup back four. Has had the chance to play a lot of minutes together.
Well, this partnership of Long and Randall have been, really, this was the same partnership that beat Thailand in the Asian Cup 1-0. And it's also the same partnership that let in 3 goals against Thailand in the Southeast Asian Games. But again, has been very reliable as a whole throughout the last few games para sa Pilipinas. So no real worry there. So take a look at some of our VIPs here present, joining us and enjoying everything happening here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. And as I always say, kayo na lang po ang kulang. Do come on over, enjoy what's happening. Couple more games for the Philippines to enjoy. As at the moment, in Binyan, it is 4-0 in favor of Australia against Malaysia. We're keeping an eye on that because if Thailand lose, if Australia score 5, it will be Australia in the semifinals and not Thailand. So Thailand still have a lot to play for here. If it is still a draw, lusot ang Thailand. So anything but a loss, that's what Thailand's hoping for. But for the Philippines, they want to take out all the strong competition. Doesn't matter who it is, they're just going to take them out. As Anika Castañeda has some work to do, and Malaya Cesar trying to provide an option here as well. Cesar trying to play quick to Katrina Giliu. Giliu taken down, and that, I'm not sure, will be a throw-in or a foul. Throw-in, played quick here. Katrina Giliu. Couple bodies to aim for inside. 3 to be precise. Malaya Cesar, she can deliver it well. Patient play. Giliu. Giliu playing that inside, but cleared away by the second defender. Dom Randall under pressure, almost loses it, and the whistle blown, foul from behind. Itong si Kanyanat Chetat Putur fouling Dom Randall.
And that is what Dom Randall does best in the middle of the defense para sa Pilipinas. I'd like to say, and like to give credit as well to Malaya Cesar. Did you see that fake there from that right back position? Early on in this year, she'd have delivered that without any hesitation. But with maturity and with more game time, she had that fake and delivered an even better cross the second time around.
Thailand now shifting it from left to right, taking their time yet again. The Philippines trying to attack on the break. But you know what? This Philippine team looks a lot more comfortable here in this second half. Despite all the pressure being offered to by Thailand, Olivia McDaniel said, yeah, come all the way here. Come all the way here before I pick this up.
Well, Thailand are chasing the game. They have to win to make sure, as you rightly said, kanina, the Philippines only needing a draw to consolidate top spot in the group.
Quesada trying to head that forward to Carly Friles. Not there. Harrison using her body, shielding well. Oh, that's a fight from Harrison from the wing that we're so used to seeing, and that is a ball that will go the Philippines' way. Quickly taken free kick here. Haley Long has a decision to make. Where does she play this to? She shifts it to Savitsky. Malaya Cesar. Oh! Finally finds Malaya Cesar, and Cesar could not get to it. And Savitsky, what a movement there, Ryan.
That is one thing I think that the team will have to develop as they mature. Yung run na yon, no? If you look at it on TV, it looks as if Savitsky made a strong pass. But she will say that Cesar should have anticipated that pass even before Savitsky made it. And as we go along and we mature as a team, we have to be aware of those types of passes.
Quesada looking downfield. What a pass to Harrison. Harrison, can she deliver? Harrison, high ball in, finding Gilyu. Scramble in the box in the corner for the Philippines yet again.
Another good sequence of play from the Philippines. Anika Castañeda making that late run.
Well, Castañeda almost made an instant impact. Panoorin natin ulit to. The high cross finding Gilyu. The header, Castañeda could not turn. But credit the Thai defender again.
You have to give credit as well to Sophia Harrison, who sprinted all the way down to save the ball from going out.
And that's exactly what she brings. And that's why she's typically one of the first choice left backs here. Miklat now, the corner kick taker with the Ekishvik out. Miklat plays it high. Could not find a single Filipina. Pero nandun ulit si Carly Friles. Friles. Trying to find Harrison. Harrison, can she get to it? Trying to play it down the line, but that will be out for a goal kick. Now, we talk about what Coach Allen wants from his fullbacks. Kanina nakita natin si Eva Madarang able to run down the right-hand side as a right wing back. And Dom Randall on the other end could not go forward like that, but it was probably more solid defensively. That's what the give and take is. And itong si Harrison, the way that she attacks, Ryan, it really added a whole new dimension to the way we play. And we saw that in the first few minutes of her play time here.
Giving width to the attack ng Pilipinas. And that burst of speed on the left flank just gives the Thai defense another person to mark.
Of course, a couple changes here. Itong si Panyo Sok coming out. And of course, you have Phim Fabot coming in for Thailand, as well as Tipikita Onsamay. And just an update here. So now 5-0 for Australia. So kung natalo dito ng 1-0 ang Thailand, pasok ang Australia sa semifinals. So a lot more to play for Thailand here. And for the Philippines, if they want to take out one of the perennial powerhouses of Southeast Asian football from this competition, this is the opportunity. Oh, Savitsky. She could not be touched in midfield. And what a ball forward to Carly Friles. A couple of bodies to aim for. Katrina Gilyu, Anika Castañeda inside. The ball high, finding Gilyu. Could not get to her. Quesada!
Almost adding to her goal tally, Quindy Quesada. And that was excellent work again. First of all, from Jackie Savitsky, releasing the ball to Carly Friles. And look at the composure here. I was about to say she had more time than probably she would have known.
Well, she snatched at that and just hit the ball just underneath. And when you hit it there, it's just going to go up.
But Quesada and the Filipinas giving this good-sized crowd here in Rizal reasons to cheer.
Malaya Cesar trying to win it back there. But it falls straight back to Thailand as Haley Long now pressing very high. Great play there from Castañeda. Castañeda couldn't find, tried to get it to Miklat, and Savitsky He's now pressuring alongside Harrison. Harrison's the body there, though, as Casada trying to win it back as well. Thailand trying now to operate deep within Philippine territory. High ball played in. This was an issue for the Philippines in the Southeast Asian Games. And there's the opener for Thailand. We were just mentioning it, how to deal with those balls. And another missed header, and the chance there for Thailand. At the moment, they are going through to the semifinals. The Philippines still up there, but may have fallen a spot to second, and maybe a tougher look for the Philippines in the semis. Still a lot to play for here, but take a look at this again, Ryan.
Well, as you said, that dangerous high ball, Randall and Harrison unable to deal with it, and Thailand, the first one to bounce. I was about to say almost against the run of play, because in the last 15-20 minutes, it was the Philippines were threatening, but Thailand fully deserving of that goal in the balance of the 75 minutes.
Well, Kanyana Chetat Batur, the scorer here for Thailand, doing a good job pouncing on it. Sometimes you just need to be at the right place at the right time and just chase and pressure, and that's what your reward is. So Thailand up 1-0 here, and the Philippines have a comeback to manufacture. Dom Randall finds Haley Long. Cesar could not control that. Straight away, Thailand trying to add on to their tally here. Dom Randall trying to hold off the attacker. Goes back to midfield. Miklat couldn't control it. And Castañeda just trying to put the danger away. Savitsky trying to pressure as well. Haley Long playing it forward straight away. Trying to look for Carly Friles. Friles, oh, she has a chance here, but can she get to it first? No, she cannot. Katrina Giliu, what a way to win it back. Gives it back to Miklat, middle of the park. All the time and space in the world to make a decision. Miklat finding Castañeda, but Castañeda not ready to receive. Haley Long, pressured.
This has more implications than Thailand just going through. If the score remains the same, they will be top of the group, which means that we'll have to play the first seed in Group B, which could well and probably be Vietnam.
Chance again here for Thailand. They like taking those long-range shots. That is definitely in the scouting report. At that time, that was Peng Nam who took that one. Again, the goal here coming from Thailand, coming off another high ball in the Philippines box that was not dealt with. Again, it has been an Achilles heel for the Philippines. Again, that's how we conceded a couple of goals against this same team in the Southeast Asian Games.
Well, in a game of very fine margins, it's those little things that make the difference. But we have seen the Filipinas come from behind in many occasions.
In very dramatic fashion. Literally, don't stop watching this team until the final whistle, because anything could happen. Harrison playing it forward. Trying to look for Friles. Friles just mistimed her jump. Savitsky. Binilit kay Olivia McDaniel. McDaniel playing it high towards the middle, looking for Quesada. And the play now for the Philippines shifting a bit more to the left side, as both Friles and Giliu have occupied that middle towards the left side. Binilik sa gitna ng Thailand, taking their time again. This has been the same way they played. Even in the lead, they have been operating the exact same way itong Thailand. That's the composure you have from one of the top teams in Southeast Asia.
Well, they're in no hurry now, Thailand. They know that they have got lead.
Castañeda under pressure, almost loses possession. Oh, but Castañeda judged with the foul there against Somnuik. The referee will mark this one. So another chance here for Thailand to pile on the misery for the hosts. I wonder who you go to in the bench if you need a goal if you're the Philippines, and I wonder if that person's coming in very soon. And that is foreshadowing, my friends, as that low free kick is driven straight into the back line of the Philippines. We're gonna see a change very soon here para sa Pilipinas, and it could be someone who can make an impact. Thailand trying to double up here before any changes are made, but that is straight to Olivia McDaniel. Olivia weighing her options immediately, and you can see the Thai player coming up right in front of her to delay it, as Peng Nam doing a good job there, just standing in front of McDaniel. Haley Long trying to play that forward. Kinley Casada there to pressure in the middle. Try and play a bit quickly here again from the back, as Carly Friles is just trying to pressure as well. Now the keeper has it, shifting it to the left side. Does the pressure from the Philippines shift as well? Harrison, great interception, and the ball in the middle there to be won, but won by the Thai captain. Haley Long has some defending to do here, and just using her body, just able to ride out the pressure. Ito na naman ng Thailand. Pilawan. Katrina Giliu going all the way from the front to challenge again, and that is the composure of the Thai back line. Pilawan sa gitna ulit. Kicking that out wide to Somnuek. So despite all the pressure, the Philippine forwards are trying to give this Thai back line. They're doing very well in holding possession. But as I say that, Savitsky made them think twice, and it's a heave forward para sa Thailand. And that'll be out for a Philippine throw-in. And as I mentioned, a substitution coming in, Serena Bolden, who scored a hat-trick in the last game, coming in for the young Carly Friles. Serena Bolden, a crowd favorite. And the crowd starts chanting her name. They have high expectations and high hopes for this young lady, Serena Bolden. Now on the floor, now on the pitch para sa Pilipinas.
Well, she certainly brings that X factor to the team. She scored 3 goals last time around. 5 goals in the tournament. And can she add another one to tie things up here?
Well, si Serena Bolden, she is a great runner off the ball. You have to watch her movement. Sophia Harrison just inching her way closer with her throw-ins. And there you are immediately, Serena Bolden getting into the thick of the action, a throw-in deep within the Thai territory.
Not just a great scorer of goals, she also uses her physicality very well, just to hold up play, just to attract the defenders.
Arguably one of the most athletic players for the Philippines. So the Philippines love long throw-ins. Harrison trying to find Katrina Giliu, cleared away there. Savitsky gets past one, couldn't get past the second. Dom Randall under pressure immediately. And Thailand have it back. Around 7 minutes to play here before added time. And Haley Long, perfectly timed challenge there. Miklat under pressure. Gives it to Harrison. Harrison on the left. Bolden trying to make a run in the far post. Going to the middle now. And the ball just clatters itself off the Thai defender. Harrison trying to find Bolden. But the pass cannot connect. And again, for the Philippines, lusot na sila sa semifinals no matter what. But Australia, I'm sure, have one eye on this game, despite the score that they have. It's 5-0 right now in favor of Australia, but that result does not matter kung matalo dito ang Pilipinas. They need the Philippines to win.
Well, Australia probably...
Sorry, just a quick update on that, Ryan. Nasa 6-0 na pala ang Australia against Malaysia. Again, the expected result there, but Coach Jan Stadcic unable to lend a helping hand right now to his former team.
I was about to say Australia trying to call a friend in Alan Stadcic, of course, formerly the Australian national team coach. But Stadcic has problems of his own. He wants to win this game, at least to draw this game, and to retain top spot dito sa Group A.
Sophia Harrison, header forward, but no midfielder there for the Philippines. And Anika Castañeda trying to pressure the ball there. Now Serena Bolden trying to win it back. Play on, says the referee. That's an advantage. It should have been a foul, and there it is. A whistle is blown. As you have Panyo Suk, slow to get up here. Ito, makita natin dito.
Bolden being very physical as well. Naghahabol tayo. Trying to win the ball back. That was a foul on the number 8.
So Thailand trying to add to their goal tally here. And that is a foul from Dom Randall, says the referee. Says that she held down the attacker. Another opportunity here from a dangerous free kick para sa Thailand. And Kindi Quesada standing over this one, so to prevent anything quick from the Thais. Thailand not really sending a lot of people forward here, and understandably so. In fact, behind the ball, there are around 3 or 4 players just waiting and there to secure any break opportunities from the Philippines. But right now, the number 23 of Thailand standing over this one, itong si Tiprikata Onsamay. Again, a substitute, taking over the free kick duties here, standing alongside Somnuek. Somnuek with the fake. Straight into the foot of Anika Castañeda. And Sabitsky winning back possession, playing it quickly, but no light blue shirt there.
Well, everybody back for the Philippines to defend that free kick.
And the boos started to ring out here.
The crowd is expressing its displeasure. Sinasabi nila parang time wasting itong Thailand.
Well, that is Pataran Puchay, who hasn't had as much joy here on the right-hand side para sa Thailand. But at the moment, Thailand, well, remember, they got their goal off a missed clearance from a high ball into the Philippine box. Harrison and Randall were caught in between 2 minds, and neither of them really took charge of that particular incident. As Apuchay will have to move on to the sideline. So at the moment, while she's being treated, it's a 1-person advantage dito para sa Pilipinas. As a couple of changes going to be made by Thailand again. Number 17 and number 10 coming in for them very soon. But at the moment, it is the Thai throw-in. They play it forward, and they'll have a chance to move even more forward after Harrison is unable to deal with that.
Very tight and edgy game. And we expected that. Of course, Thailand is ranked 10 places higher than us in the FIFA World Rankings.
Harrison having to give chase, and no Thai player there. And almost a miscue there. Malaya Cesar had to deal with that. Castañeda playing that through. Bolden using her body, holds off possession. Again, trying to ride 2 defenders, and a quick free kick being asked for. Castañeda. Castañeda trying to find Bolden. Bolden running through. Bolden taken down in the box, but that's just the corner, and the crowd up in arms asking for a penalty. The referee not interested.
That was all Serena Bolden. You see her egging on the team, trying to hasten the speed of play.
Wala pong VAR dito. Wala pong replay na pwedeng tignan ng referee. So, we go to another corner. We've gotten close through corners before. Is there a quick equalizer here for the Philippines to find? Miklat standing over this. Castañeda, the short option for Filipinas, now at the middle of the park. And Dom Randall and Katrina Giliu still near the goalkeeper. That is a setup para sa Pilipinas. Is there a goal here? Ball sent in, but then straight out out. The flag is already up, so that just goes harmlessly to a goal kick.
Well, not the best of corner kicks from Jessica Miklat, but you have to see the effect of Serena Bolden that when she came on, yung nagagawa ng presence niya sa koponan ng Pilipinas.
The thing with Serena Bolden is she's such a good straight runner. And there's a collision, there's a contact that Serena Bolden hoped that would result into a penalty. Pero from the referee's vantage point, siguro sabi niya that she ran into the defender. But I'm not a referee. I'll let the referee decide on that. And of course, syempre, all the Filipino fans are be like, oh, Paolo, what are you talking about? We disagree. Dapat penalty yun. And so a couple of changes here for Thailand.
But you've seen penalties given for lesser challenges than that.
So Mongkoldi and Mika coming in for Thailand, trying to preserve their lead here. Not long to play here.
Player number 17.
Castañeda playing that forward to Katrina Giliu. Giliu will be a throw-in a dangerous position para sa Pilipinas. They try and play quick to Serena Bolden. Bolden, handball, says the lineswoman.
Serena Bolden, of course, one of the more vocal players in the squad, leading on and off the pitch. But you can see her now willing her teammates to find that equalizer.
Cesar, header forward. Throw in para sa Thailand. Thailand will try and play it back. And the pressure there immediately and cleared away. Cesar.
Additional time, 5 minutes.
5 added minutes here at Rizal Memorial. So there is time for the Philippines to at least equalize here. Can they do that?
Thailand so comfortable on the ball.
Sabi mo lang, and then a turnover bigla. Mikla trying to find Serena Bolden. Bolden using her body, being pulled back, but still she stands, and that would be a corner for the Philippines again.
Again, that's a Serena Bolden effect. Just running at the defense just hanging on for dear life here.
Last chance saloon here for the Philippines. Not long left as a crowd eagerly anticipating this one. So there is the body of Serena Bolden in full effect. And ito naman, si Miklat standing over this. 5 light blue shirts now in the box.
Even Olivia McDaniels venturing forward.
Olivia McDaniels is actually lurking. They want this win. The Philippines want to get level. They want this goal very badly. There's a bit of a delay here, and then a referee finally says, let's go on. Miklat, ball in, it's high. Finds a Philippine head, but that goes straight to a goal kick.
Another chance wasted for the Philippines. The crowd was rising in anticipation.
Off the mark there with the header. As Thailand will try and take as much time as humanly possible without an infraction. Harrison trying to play it forward. Castañeda. Now the heave forward continues on para sa Thailand. Malaya Cesar pressured by 2. And a chance here from Thailand. Can they get 2? The ball inside. And Olivia McDaniel tips it away. Savitsky brings it wide. And now needs to clear the danger.
That is the danger if you're trying to chase the game. The spaces, the gaps that you leave behind.
Harrison. High ball forward again. Now looking for Katrina Giliu. Trying to head it forward to Serena Bolden. Bolden doesn't stop running. Here she is again. Bolden playing that high to Malaya Cesar. Cesar could not control that. The first bounce eluded her. And now it's Thailand's turn again. And that is thrown out. And they're going to try and continue wasting time here. But here it is. The Philippines through Haley Long. Goes down the line looking for Castañeda. Stadcic giving the ball to Cesar. Looking for Katrina Giliu. Castañeda finding Serena Bolden in the box. And here's an opportunity for the Philippines. Can they find something? But a miscommunication there. The miscue from Quesada to Bolden. Randall. Harrison. And there you have it. Final whistle blown. And not for the want of trying for the Philippines as they fall 1-0 to Thailand. Fortunately for the Philippines, they were through anyway. But for Thailand, they ensured that they make it to the semis, and Australia is out of the competition.
Ladies
Para
and
sa Pilipinas, a disappointing
the final
result
score
based
is
on how we saw them play. They were
Thailand
not content in just saying,
Philippines,
okay, whatever happens, as long as we're through, that's
We
it.
thank you
They
all for
wanted this
coming today
result.
and
They wanted a
encouraging
positive
the official
result going
EFF
into the
website,
knockout stages, but that did not happen this time around, Ryan.
For more
Well,
details
it's a very eventful
on the
90
EFF
minutes.
Women's
Thailand in the end
2020.
with a 1-goal lead.
See you
Alam mo,
and
there's
good
so many
night.
chances for the Philippines. And what I particularly like about the way we played is the way we ended the game. Nagahabol tayo. We saw the urgency. And you look at Sarina Bolden, how she inspired the team in the last 10 minutes. I think it bodes well for us. We're through to the semis, by the way. It's just that maybe we have to have a reality check that we can't have it all our way.
If ever we were riding too high on a wave, this sends them crashing down, and a reminder that this is still a battle to be won here. Nothing is assured para sa Pilipinas, and they know it, and they're going to try their best to make sure that come the knockout stage against another formidable foe, who will find out soon enough who that will be, that they can get the result. 2 more games at minimum para sa Pilipinas, and they hope that the last game they play will be in the final, and they hope that it will end up on top of the podium. Tignan natin mga highlights dito in what was a very interesting clash between Thailand and the Philippines. Thailand and the Philippines ended the first half with a scoreless result, and both teams only were dangerous from set-piece opportunities.
Nothing to separate these two teams in the first half. A lot of chances, mainly through set pieces. Philippines and Thailand almost breaking the deadlock, but good defense from both sides prevented that, and this was a good chance from Cowart in the first half.
Of course, here's another look at that. Cowart, her left-footed shot just cannoned off the keeper's hands. And again, the Philippines and Thailand exchanged good opportunities from corner kicks. As we see here, that block from Kinley Quesada as she turned into a defender for a moment. At ito naman, we have an example of the physicality that we've seen here so far. As there they had a Cowart having to do a duty foul and opportunities again from a free kick. It really was something that it was difficult to get through open play here, Ryan, for chances for both teams.
In the first half as well, they targeted Dom Randall at the left back position. In the second half, it was a much more open game. Mas maraming tsansa from both sides. Carly Friles actually being very busy in the second half with that shot earlier. And this one could have been a shot for her, but she hit it. Almost led to a Thailand counterattack.
And of course, Arcedel Tupas, we hear the mic on the side. He'll be able to interview a few people here in just a bit. In fact, narinig natin yung mic test natin. Chill muna dyan, Cedel! As we take a look at some of the other highlights here, there's another foul there from Carly Friles on the opportunity. Again, that came right after a corner kick. And the set pieces are going to be something that'll be interesting to see throughout the knockout stages. As you see, one of the better opportunities here para sa Pilipinas. That shot straight at the keeper. Their keeper, arguably a lot more busy than our own in Olivia McDaniel, right?
Katrina Guiu being very busy all game long. And that time almost providing the assist for substitute Anika Castaneda, the keeper in fine form as well, a Thailand keeper. But this one was the pivotal moment, Paulo.
Of course, take a look at that, the misinterception and just pounded on there. We talked about it ad nauseum at some point, that high balls into the box were something that they struggled to deal with in Southeast Asian games, and that was true again there.
Well, Dom Randall, her head hiding under her arms, and she knew that the moment the ball was not collected, that it was going to be a goal for Thailand. Sarina Bolden, the substitute, tried to inspire Philippines to come back.
Well, that was a penalty shout a while ago, and that one actually, it hit the top of the bar, but it did not, it actually went out for a goal kick. And of course, the last minute save there from Olivia McDaniel just to ensure it's just 1-0. So now let's turn over to Arcedel Tupas in just a bit, but at the moment, we're going to take a look at the full-time stats here. So the number of shots here, relatively close, Ryan, but then do you feel that the stats reflect the game?
Well, 5 shots on target for us, 4 for Thailand. Just reflective of how close the game is.
So right now, Arcedel Tupas is with Okamoto, the head coach of Thailand. Let's hear from them.
I am with Coach Neo Okamoto of Thailand. Coach, congratulations, topping Group A. Very hard match against the Philippines. What are your initial thoughts on that performance?
第一印象を教えてください。まず本当に難しい試合になるっていうところで、硬い試合になったんですけど、本当にこう危ない場面でも体を張ってよく頑張ってくれてたと思います。
We knew going into the match it would be very hard. But the players worked really hard, being physical against the bigger physical Filipino side.
Coach, you get the incentive of playing as the top team in Group A. Which team would you want to face in the semifinal, if there's any preference?
グループの中で1位になって、有利ということで、グループ B とはどのチームと対戦したいですか？
どちらが上がってくるかはわからないですけど、両方どっちが上がってきてもしっかり戦える準備したいと思ってます。
Whichever team comes up, we do the same thing. We just need to fight for the win.
Congratulations, Coach. Congratulations.
Well, that was Adel Tupas with Mio Okamoto of the Thai national team. Again, interested to see what the matchups will be once everything is sorted out in the other group. But no matter what, the Philippines will be fighting for a spot on the podium. That will happen on Friday. Still here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. The opponent will be decided on very soon. The schedule also will be decided as well, as we take a look at the Thai team celebrating win here against the Philippines. It's now 2 games in a row that Thailand have had over the Philippines, and it's back to the drawing board for Coach Alan Stachich and the rest of the Filipinas, as they know they have work to do if they want to win this competition.
But the good news is we live to fight another day. We have the semifinals on Friday. Kung sino makakalaban natin will be determined tomorrow, whether it will be Myanmar or Vietnam. But whoever it is, I'm sure the Philippines will have to bounce back to mount the challenge and hopefully meet Thailand in the final.
Maraming salamat sa lahat na nanonood dito for the AFF Women's Championship 2022. We can't wait to see you for the upcoming games, and hopefully the Philippines will end up battling in the final and moving forward. Maraming salamat, and we hope to see you then. Ako po si Paul Del Rosario alongside Ryan Phoenix on behalf of the hardworking men and women here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. Have a great night.
I'm with Coach Alan Stachich. Coach, tough game against a very strong side in Thailand. What can you take about that performance from your team?
Yeah, look, performance was okay from both teams. Both teams are obviously very fatigued, and it was a very close game, and one error turned the game in their way. We had chances to win that game. They had a couple of chances, and ultimately it fell on one error by us.
Now, we don't know Group B yet, but a challenging task ahead. How do we recover from this performance going into the semifinals?
Well, you have to recover. You got no choice. 5 games in 9 days. I've never seen that in international football. So it's grueling physically and mentally, and everyone has to pick themselves up for a big game. It's a semi-final at home, and we've had a couple of semi-finals already this year, so we've got good experience. But now it's time to win one.
Thanks so much.